बेटा सब बच्चों को पहले तो बताएं ऑडिबल एंड वीडियो क्लियर है या नहीं।
Yes, sir.
Good. तो ऑडियो वीडियो क्लियर होना बहुत जरूरी है पहले तो, और उसके बाद अपन सेशन जस्ट चालू करते हैं। सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द वेलकम टू ऑल ऑफ यू एंड कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस टू ऑल ऑफ यू दैट यू क्लियर्ड योर CMA फाइनल एग्जाम्स and you're going to appear in campus shortly. So this is the time to have a tough preparation, but last time, so that you can get an opportunity to have a good package. So this will going to be your last effort in this CMA entire cycle. तो यहाँ पे आपका सबसे टफ प्रिपरेशन है, बिकॉज दिस इज द फाइनल वेयर यू विल गोइंग टू give your maximum output. So you need to prepare a lot. You need to prepare strongly. You need to prepare like with the all tough efforts. और हम लोग आपको उसी के लिए यहाँ पे प्रिपेयर करेंगे with all faculties to giving good experience. Rather, I should say a long experience, especially in the industries and this interview sessions. So this will going to help you a lot, and you will definitely be able to crack your interview with the easiest manner. So we have a lot of domains where we generally ask a question, but when you will talk about interviews in the CMA, the focus is basically on audit and taxation, right? I'm not saying that other areas are not, like they don't ask any questions about the other domains. All domains are important, but the prominently, like the questions they ask prominently is out of audit domain and the taxation domain. Okay. Apart from the specific domain, like I'm talking about the specific subjects. So when we talk about the specific subjects, then apart from the specific subjects, they also ask questions about like your attitude, your aptitude. They evaluate your overall personality. As you know that they evaluate their overall personality, including your attitude, your aptitude, your discussion, group discussion capabilities, okay, and your skills. But when we talk about the domain specific, throughout the all domains, the most domains, mostly asked domains are audit, taxation, and costing. Okay. Other domains are not prominently asked, but these are. So you need to have a lot of things to learn about the audit domain, about the costing and taxation domains. Though we will arrange domains for like classes for other domains also, but the stress should be given on these domains. Point number one. Point number two, the second thing, which is very, very, very important, like which has to be taken with a priority. Like couple of things they used to ask about subjects, but major focus of all the interviewers, especially those companies which is giving you a good package, a handsome package, they focus on your work experience. Okay. I don't need to tell this to anyone because you had already discussed with your seniors, with other candidates who had passed CMA exams in previous years and they got a job. So when you will talk to them, you will find that most of the questions they ask is like focusing on your work experience. In your CV, whatever you mentioned in your work experience for your articleship or your training, that has to be that's supposed to be true one, but sometimes it happens that it is not found true. Like someone has taken a dummy training, so they don't have sufficient matter to write down there. And this is the point where they're lacking. Trust me. Like out of any of you is from Hindi medium, so we can continue in the Hindi also. Like if you are comfortable with English, everyone will continue in English. And if you are comfortable in Hindi, or if you're not comfortable in English, so let me know. I'll continue in Hindi. So feel free to tell us, sir. I would like to have a discussion in Hindi. Is there anyone who want me to have a discussion in Hindi?
No,
Okay,
sir.
great. No, fine. So if you feel uncomfortable in English at any point of time, you can let me know to speak in Hindi because we want everyone to be comfortable in this. Okay. So the major domain, which is, as I said, like many times we have seen, I have many times been a part of interview panel of various companies in CMA especially. So many times we have observed, and this is what a keen observation we made, and this is seriously a very bitter problem that we encounter after having good marks in foundation in inter, and sometimes you have a good merit in CMA final. Good merit, I mean to say that you are in top 20. Still, what happens that you don't have sufficient experience or you don't have experience at all, and you have taken a dummy training, right? And you have nothing to say or speak about your training experience. Now, what happens? Instead of having a good job in a corporate because of your merit, you don't even get a package. You don't even get a job at all. Or if you get a job that is not of that one which you deserve. So you lack somewhere where you're supposed to be more strong, because and this is the experience area, and for that purpose we have planned a separate schedule. We have planned a separate session exclusively for you only, just to make sure that you, if you're lacking in experience, if you're good in experience, we will enrich it. If you're not in your experience, good in experience, or you do not have any, you even do not have any experience, and you have written something in your experience because you have to write down, we will make it possible for you to speak very confidently in interview about your experience which you have never taken. Okay, so we recommend you strongly that you must attend that session, though it will going to be a paid session. You know why? Because we used to put a lot of effort into it. We need to see CV of each and every person. We will make a detailed analysis. We'll make find out that what where you are lacking. We need to have a one-to-one discussion with you. Like if I'm taking the, for example, if I'm taking in, CV of Radhika, right? I can see the name of Radhika over the screen, the first bit. So if I'm having CV of Radhika, so it is not like a general kind of a discussion. It is going to be a one-to-one discussion. I'll see the CV of Radhika. I'll discuss each and everything into it. I'll take all of your experience one by one. I'll discuss with you, and I will try to find out whether it is true and false. Right? That means you have actually did this training or not. And trust me, by moment we talk you, we realizes that you actually were in training or you falsely claiming that you were in training. And if I can realize it here, this is quite easy for the interviewer to realize it in the interview. And trust me, if it's going to happen in interview, you will be in a difficult situation. You will not be able to come out from that. You will lose all of your opportunities. क्योंकि अगर इंटरव्यूअर ने एक बार ये रिकग्नाइज कर लिया ना, ट्रस्ट मी, ही विल नॉट गोइंग टू लीव यू. एंड डमी आपने बोला, एंड यू आर क्लेमिंग दैट you are claiming that I did my training actually, and he finds out that you were dummy, you will going to lose everything. So not, let's not to happen it in interview, let it happen here only. We will analyze your CV individually, will talk you one to one, we will discuss with you. And if you have written it falsely, I'm sorry to use this word, but here we are discussing freely, so that is why I'm using this word. So if you have written falsely in your CV that I was in training, I have taken the training of accounts payable or accounts receivable or audit of this kind of the company, audit of this kind of company, I have undertaken stock audits, I have undertaken like all these audits and etc etc. Still you haven't taken that, but still we will make you so strong that you can speak about all those trainings about that work in interview easily. So we strongly recommend to all of you that you must take that session. This will going to be a like a very strong pillar in your entire. Otherwise, what will happen that whatever efforts you made in your study, in your in your foundation, anywhere, whatever efforts you have put, they will all going to waste. Trust me, they will all going to waste. It will going to be an absolute waste. लाइक आपने थोड़ा सा अपने आप को यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा, है ना, यू जस्ट मेड योर सेल्फ अ माइजर मैन एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, एंड you try to save some of your money, you will going to lose a lakhs of rupees package. And I don't think so that you will going, you want it. I don't think so that you wanted to lose that opportunity. Okay, So if you deserves 18 lakh rupees per annum in your campus, so if you like deserves 18 lakh rupees per annum in your interview, so don't let it be 12 lakhs. Don't let it be 15 lakhs. Now you should not compromise. And why to compromise? If we are here to listen to you, we are here to support you, to tell you everything about your CV and to prepare you how to face encounter the questions in interview. So why to worry about that? Why to let happen your package from 18 to 15? Okay, so we'll be here, and Radhika has asked a question, sir, when they will going to start. Radhika, we will let you know soon about this. Okay, you will get all the updates, right? So don't worry about that. You will get all of the
Okay.
updates. Okay, we'll let you know about this. Fine. So let's start first. Like this session is going to be free session as we are going to discuss about audit and the questions they generally used to ask about audit in interview. Okay. So I guess I should start. If anyone wants to ask anything, then he or she can ask me anything about your training, your campus, your sessions, anything. Or shall I start?
Start. Sir.
Fine. So as you can see on your screen that we have some questions. I'm going to take your session for the audit related questions and work experience related questions. As you can see on the screen, my name is CA Dr. Dilip Gupta. I'm qualified chartered accountant, CS, PhD, and MBA, LLB, MCOM, and BCom. So these are my degrees, but this is not important. What is important? Important is I am taking training sessions in almost all the big corporates of Jaipur and Delhi because I prefer only these two cities. And I've been part of various interview panels, including at various MNCs like Genpact and others. So I have been the part of the interview panel of all these companies. I have been the part of interview panel of Gravita India Limited and Infosys also. So our experience and particularly work experience field will going to help you a lot. We have a lot of questions. We have designed these questions for you just because to ensure that the question whatever interview will going to ask, this will definitely out of this. Like I have a lot of the questions for you for audit only. See, as you can see, we have almost 19 questions, out of which 17 questions, sorry, 14 questions are relating to the audit only. Trust me, it has never happened that in the past 7 years or I guess 8 years, they asked any question out of it. इन 14 क्वेश्चंस के अलावा कभी भी they do not ask any question about the audit. Any questions. Even for the work experience, though we have designed some of the questions which are common to all of us, but still, we will design specific questions for everyone according to your work experience. Okay. Fine. So let's start some of the questions of audit. What common questions they used to ask? I'm starting from simplest. Simplest, I mean to say the questions which is rarely asked in the interview, but we cover each and every possible circumstance, each and every possible situation. So that is why we have even included those questions which they generally don't ask, but there is a least chance, but there is a probability. So they may ask a very simple question to you, what is an audit? And you will be shocked to know that whenever they ask this question, sometimes even the candidates are not able to reply this. Can you believe this? What could be bitter thing in the interview that interviewer has asked a simplest question, what is an audit? And the candidate is like shocked. He or she do not have the answer of this question, and they used to answer the question in a very simple. Audit is a kind of examination of the records or the documents, and it is a kind of service where auditor gives his opinion. Oh, no, 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 this is not the right way to give an answer as a professional. This is not the right way. Okay, ये जो definition है, ये definition is good to be given by a graduate but not by a professional like CMA. So you have to be very specific. Now, what do you mean by the specific? You're supposed to use all those technical words which we use in definition. Like, let me tell you how. What is an audit? Audit is an independent examination. Now the stress should be given on the independent. The interviewer exclusively want to listen this word from you. Audit is an examination of the documents and records. This is even known by a layman. So what is the sense of asking this question to a CMA? So they want you to listen exactly what is the meaning of audit. So you have to tell audit is an independent examination of financial information. Now you can make it simplified because you said the technical word. So audit is an independent examination of financial information with a view to express opinion on financial statements, or in case of cost audit, on the cost statements. This is how we reply as a professional. So you better to prefer the technical language, you better to prefer the technical words in the answer. That will be going to be good. So what is an audit? Audit is an independent examination of financial information with a view to express an opinion. और अगर आपसे cost audit के लिए पूछा जाता है, it's quite simple. Audit is an independent examination of cost records or cost information to give or to express an opinion on the financial statements, or in case of cost audit, to cost statements. Okay. So many times I have seen, like I have taken interviews of more than 1000 professionals, including CA and CMA. Many times, what I have observed is that the candidates are good or confident to reply the tough questions, but they feel so reluctant to give answer to the simplest questions. Can you believe this? And this is not an abnormal situation. This is a very normal situation. Like I have seen many times. The moment, because whenever you are preparing for interview, you always prepare for the tough one, right? Am I right? Because you, every candidate is like, मेरे को best से best करने का है, मेरे को best से best करने का है. So let me prepare toughest to toughest level. So they prepare to all the toughest levels, but they used to forget about the smallest and the simplest question. And the moment interviewer asks such a question, they used to like, oh, what to do. So they're like, oh my God, what does happen? And just one moment, just think about this. If you're not able to speak answer of any question, that you loses your all of the confidence. Okay. So also prepare for the simplest question. Now, what is the second question? How many kinds of the audit generally conducted in any organization? Like this is the kind of the question where you could have an elaborative answer, or this is the kind of question where you can make it simplified. See, we are not in the examination hall and we don't have any copy to give a descriptive answer. We are in an interview. Very, very important thing I'm going to tell you. Listen this carefully. बहुत ज़्यादा important है. Always keep your answer short. Interviewer do not have whole day to take your interview only. He want you to give all of answers of all of his questions, but in a very shortest manner. But that does not mean that make just to make the answer precise or concise, you just compressed the answer in the few words or in one line. No, that does not mean. Okay. Yes, yes, Radhika will give you. That's not a problem at all. We'll share this by the end of today itself. Okay. That's not a problem.
With answer,
Yes, Radhika.
with answer,
I mean, sorry for the disturbance, guys. I'm sorry. So Radhika will going to share this file with all of you. Don't worry about that. Okay, we'll share it by today itself. Okay, fine. So this is a question. How many? If anyone want me to discuss in Hindi, we can continue in Hindi. So please let us know if anybody is feeling uncomfortable in English, because it will going to be a wasteful session for you if you do not understand this properly. So please feel free to have a discussion with us in Hindi. We can continue, right? I'm continuing English right now. Let us know about that. Okay. And we will going to share this file with all of you so you can enjoy this file and can prepare even at the later stage. So this is a question: how many kinds of audit generally auditor conducts or generally conducted in any organization? You can give a descriptive answer of this question. But if this would have been a paper, an interview, like we have to give a very simple answer. So if we like talk about this question from the organization's point of view, so there are broadly three kinds of the audit which is conducted. One is financial audit, one is cost audit, and one is tax audit. Is tax audit is a kind of finance audit? Yes, it is a kind of finance audit, but organization makes a separate classification. So this is final audit of financial records, which is conducted at the end of the year. One is cost audit, which is conducted at the end of the cost record, end of the financial year, and one is your tax audit, which is conducted if you are crossing the threshold limits. But there are some extra versions of audit also exist, such as internal audit. Okay, so broadly, अगर आपसे पूछे, you need to finance audit, which is also a final audit at the end of the year, cost audit, and tax audit. Apart from that, we also have internal audits. Cost audit is conducted only when there is like threshold, the entities crossing the threshold limits given under section 148. Finance audit is always compulsory for the companies. Tax audit, again, if it crosses the threshold limits. Internal audit is a voluntary audit. So many organizations, like all the listed companies, they go for the internal audit, and it is also compulsory for the listed companies under section 138. तो आप अगर बहुत ज्यादा चाहे तो चार ब्रॉड कैटेगरीज आप बताएंगे: फाइनेंस ऑडिट फाइनल, इंटरनल ऑडिट, कॉस्ट ऑडिट एंड टैक्स ऑडिट. एंड ट्रस्ट मी, कॉस्ट ऑडिट जरूर बोलना, बिकॉज इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज हमारा डोमेन वो है, एंड वी इफ डू नॉट स्पीक दैट तो हम लोग अपने ही प्रोफेशन के अगेंस्ट में चले जाएंगे. तो इसलिए कॉस्ट ऑडिट तो बोलना ही बोलना है. दो कॉस्ट ऑडिट कंपलसरी सब केसेस में नहीं होता, बट फिर भी आपको बताना है क्योंकि वही तो हमारा फील्ड है. ओके, now next question, I want all of you to give me the answer: which audit can be conducted by a cost accountant? I want all of you to give me the answer of these questions. Who would like to give the answer of this question?
Post audit.
Okay, and
Internal audit.
whether a cost accountant can do internal audit?
Yeah, sir.
Mhm. Where he is permitted, like under which provision?
The company said, but the sections is still now not remembering. But
Okay.
there are mentioned.
Correct. Under section 138 of the Companies Act, a cost accountant is also allowed to conduct the internal audit. Correct. Okay. And anyone else apart from this two, cost audit and internal audit, which kind of the audits can also be conducted by a cost accountant? Okay, we have many people, they are still joining. आप लोग कहाँ थे अब तक भाई? This session has started 30 minutes back. Okay, fine. So let me answer the question. Yes, you are absolutely right. Cost audit is one of the most prominent audit which a cost accountant conducts. But apart from this, internal audit can also be conducted. And see, internal audit can be conducted by a cost accountant. It is allowed under section 138 of the Companies Act. But voluntarily, any organization can appoint a cost accountant to conduct an internal audit, right? For example, like if we talk about the finance audit, they prefer only a CA. For the cost audit, the organization prefers CMA because it is also written in the Act. If you go to the Companies Act, Section 141 allows only a CA to conduct finance audit. Under Section 148, only CMA is allowed to conduct the cost audit. But when we talk about the internal audit, Companies Act allows both. And voluntarily, if any company is conducting internal audit, then in such a case, you can appoint CA and CMA both. It is allowed. There is no restriction because CMAs are also qualified, and internal audit is a kind of diversified audit. Now they can ask a question to you. How ये जो question अब मैं बोल रहा हूँ ये very important ना, इसको बहुत ध्यान से सुनना. When you will say or when you will speak, like when you are giving answer of this question in the interview, कि sir, yes, CMA is also allowed to conduct internal audit. They can ask you further question. Okay, prove how a CMA is good in conducting or how CMA fits in internal audit. Why? You give me the answer of this question. How a CMA like can conduct an internal audit? Why you find him capable to conduct internal audit?
Because, sir, we are also read the same thing that the CA actually read.
So then what is the difference in CA and CMA? If you have gone through with same content as covered in CA, then what is the difference in CA and CMA? Like how you distinguish yourself from the CA? Then why we should hire you for the cost audit only? Or why we should hire a CMA only for a cost audit? Well, someone has mic. Abul, please switch off your mic. Abul, please switch off your mic. Okay. Anyone give me the answer of this question? Why a CMA is good for conducting internal audit? Okay. Let me answer the question. See, CMA, the training we do is we are allowed to have a training under the CA firm also. And when we take our training in CA firm, then we also have taken an experience of conducting various internal audits. So we are good as CA, we are also good in conducting internal audit because we have taken our training for conducting the under the CA firm. So definitely we are allowed. Point number one. Point number two. The second thing which is very important is that when we talk about the provisions, we have gone through with the entire audit subject in CMA Inter. I hope you know that. In CMA, we have gone through with the entire auditing subject as the CA students go through in their CA Inter. So, as far as the knowledge is concerned, we are on the equal front with CA. Okay, for audit. As far as academic knowledge is concerned, as far as book knowledge is concerned, we are equivalent to the or we are on the equal footing with CA. And as far as the practical experience is concerned, we are also again same on the same equivalent front or in the same front with CA students because we also take training under a CA firm. So that is why we are capable enough to conduct this internal audit. Now they will ask you further question. If you are comfortable or you are capable enough to conduct internal audit, then why you are not comfortable in doing the finance audit? No, sir, we are comfortable and we are capable, but law do not permit us. We are capable to conduct the finance audit. We can conduct finance audit because we have gone through with the all provisions of accounts or audit or taxation or costing. Okay, we are capable. We are confident that we can conduct finance audit, but law do not permit us. Law do not permit us to conduct the finance audit. That is why we do not conduct finance audit. This is how you need to reply. That shows your confidence. That shows your confidence on your profession. Ki, sir, yes, by studying CMA, I am capable enough to conduct the finance audit. I know how to conduct the finance audit. I know because I have read it. I have done the training. But law do not permit us. Law permit us to conduct internal audit. We do internal audit. Law do not permit us to conduct finance audit. Final, we do not do that. That is okay. Any questions on this? Any queries? Yes, Parul.
So it's probable, sir.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
इट्स ओके मैम सर
Yeah.
वो पिछले वाला जो आपने बताया ना कि सीएमए को क्यों इंटरनल ऑडिटर की तरह अपॉइंटमेंट होना चाहिए वो आंसर थोड़ा को हिंदी में अगर आप बोल देते
हाँ,
तो
श्योर। आपने मैंने पूछा था पहले आप लोगों को कि आप कभी भी किसी भी पॉइंट पे अनकंफर्टेबल बने तो मुझे बताएं क्योंकि हम यही चाहते हैं कि सब बच्चों को कंफर्टेबल हो। ठीक है, चलो मैं दोबारा बताता हूँ। देखो क्या होता है कि अगर कोई हमसे पूछता है कि एक सीएमए, क्योंकि जैसे ही उसने आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछा कि एक सीएमए कौन कौन सी ऑडिट कर सकता है और आपने कहा कि हम लोग फाइनेंस ऑडिट भी कर, हम कॉस्ट ऑडिट भी कर सकते हैं और इंटरनल ऑडिट भी कर सकते हैं, तो वो डेफिनेटली आपसे सवाल पूछेगा कि कैसे एक इंटरनल कॉस्ट ऑडिट कर सकता है सीएमए। इसको तो जस्टिफाई करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है क्योंकि ये तो वेल नोन एक फैक्ट है। लेकिन अगर आप ये कहते हैं कि हम इंटरनल ऑडिट भी कर सकते हैं तो वो पूछेगा क्यों। तो हमारा बड़ा सिंपल सा आंसर है कि सर सीए वाले बच्चे या सीए का जो कोर्स है उसमें जो ऑडिट के बारे में पढ़ाया जाता है वो एज इट इज हमारी भी और है। ट्रस्ट मी, मैं ऑडिट पढ़ाता हूं, मैं ऑडिट की फैकल्टी हूं, तो मुझे पता है, मैं सालों से ऑडिट पढ़ा रहा हूं। मैंने सीए के बच्चों को सालों से पढ़ाया है, सीएमए के बच्चों को सालों से पढ़ाया है एंड हैव सीन देयर इज नो डिफरेंस इन द एंटायर सिलेबस। आप सीए का सिलेबस देखेंगे, सीएमए का देखेंगे, बिल्कुल सेम। तो आप ऐसे रिप्लाई कीजिएगा कि सर जहां तक हमारी नॉलेज की बात है वहां तक हमारी और सीए की नॉलेज ऑडिट के लिए बराबर है क्योंकि हमने भी उतना सारा कंटेंट पढ़ा है जो वो पढ़ते हैं। जहां तक प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज की बात है तो हमारी भी प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज उनके लगभग बराबर है क्योंकि हम भी अपनी आर्टिकलशिप सीए फर्म के अंडर में कर सकते हैं। अगर हम सीए फर्म के अंडर में करते हैं अपनी आर्टिकलशिप तो हमें बहुत सारी इंटरनल ऑडिट करने का मौका मिलता है। तो अगर हम अपनी नॉलेज की बात करें तो भी उनके बराबर, हम अपने प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस की बात करें तो भी उनके बराबर। तो जब हमारी नॉलेज और हमारा एक्सपीरियंस उनके बराबर है तो हम क्यों इंटरनल ऑडिट नहीं कर सकते? बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं हम इंटरनल ऑडिट, है ना। अब सीए फर्म के अंडर में ट्रेनिंग करना तो आईसीएमए ने अलाउड करा है, इसलिए हमको लीगली भी परमिटेड है। तो तो इस वजह से हम इंटरनल ऑडिट करने में भी उतने ही कंफर्टेबल है जितने कि हम कॉस्ट ऑडिट करने में कंफर्टेबल है, और हम उतने ही सीए की तरह अच्छे तरीके से ऑडिट कर सकते हैं जैसे कि हम बाकी ऑडिट्स करती है, जैसे सीए करते हैं। अब जैसे ही आपने उसको इस बात के लिए कन्विंस कर दिया कि आप इंटरनल ऑडिट कर सकते हैं, अच्छे तरीके से कर सकते हैं एक सीए की तरह जैसे सीए करता है, तो फिर दूसरा सवाल जो वो आपसे पूछेगा वो ये कि फिर आप फाइनेंस ऑडिट क्यों नहीं कर सकते? जब आप इंटरनल ऑडिट कर सकते हैं तो आप फाइनेंस ऑडिट भी कर सकते हैं, क्यों नहीं करते फाइनेंस ऑडिट? तो फिर आपको कहना है कि सर यस, और कॉन्फिडेंटली देना है, ये जवाब बहुत कॉन्फिडेंटली देना है। यहां आकर आपका कॉन्फिडेंस जो है ना वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाएगा। तो आपको बोलना है कि सर नहीं, हम फाइनेंस ऑडिट भी बहुत अच्छे से कर सकते हैं, वो तो लॉ हमें परमिट नहीं करता फाइनेंस ऑडिट करने के लिए, इसीलिए हम फाइनेंस ऑडिट नहीं कर पाते, वरना हम लोग फाइनेंस ऑडिट करने में भी उतने ही कंफर्टेबल है जितना इंटरनल ऑडिट करने में है। ऐसे ही आपको जवाब देना है।
ठीक है सर।
ठीक है?
But sir, in
हाँ,
case we haven't done our training in CA firm, then it will be a dicey question that you haven't
no,
done.
that will not going to be, because we'll take your sessions as we discussed in the beginning of the session, that we're going to have a discussion on your CV if you join that paid session, and we will make you expert. I'm not telling you that we'll make you comfortable only. We'll make you expert to answer such a questions. Like the reason of having that particular session and having that session as a paid session, that we used to have a discussion on your CV one by one. Okay. And we used to find out that if you have written that I have an experience in CA firm of conducting internal audits and you haven't, so we will tell you that how to deal with this question. And you will give the answer of this question very confidently.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Okay. Shall I proceed or anyone else? Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. The fourth question is, which companies are required to conduct cost audit? So I guess it is very simple question. ये क्वेश्चन जनरली वो कंपनीज पूछती हैं जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनीज होती है, राइट? सो इफ यू आर गोइंग टू अपीयर इन एनी काइंड ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी, लाइक you got listed in any manufacturing company, so if you got shortlisted in any manufacturing company, this question will going to be a very prominent importance for you. Okay, because if a company is a manufacturing company, so there is a high possibility that they will like conducting cost audits. So in that case, this question is important. So I hope you know the answer. Anyone want to give me the answer of this question? I would like to listen the answer of this question from all of you. Oh, no one. I mean,
Sir.
this is simple. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Prabal.
At first, the company should maintain the cost records first. Who's the company aggregated turnover exceeding the 35 or exceeding not, that is on or above the 35 crore, then the company.
Prabal, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but are you giving me the
Yeah.
answer of audit or the companies who need to maintain the cost records?
At first, the company should must maintain the cost records, then we can make the cost audit.
Okay.
Is it relevant to make the answer of the cost
No, I
audit?
don't think so. It is relevant because you need to
Okay,
give the answer
okay.
directly to like the
Directly
audit
to,
question.
okay. So if actually there have two companies, that is the regulated sector and the unregulated sector. The
Right.
regulated sector actually mentioned the six क्या बोलो उसको कि छह जो sector actually mentions है ना, वो actually मैं mention
Okay.
करना चाहती हूँ इधर.
Fine,
So
fine.
then if the company which actually the turnover what the aggregated turnover, there is a mention in the table A and the table B and the others total actually aggregate
Prabal, I'm sorry to interrupt you
okay,
again
okay.
because I want to correct you. See, as I told you at the beginning, try to keep your answer shortest.
Okay.
Like, so if I understand that you want to tell the entire provision, this is good.
Yeah.
But in interview, the problem is that interview
Okay.
just want to listen the exact answer.
Exact
In
answer.
this case, you should give the answer like that. Sir, there are the two kinds of the companies. One is regulated, one is non-regulated. If the company belongs to the regulated sector, the turnover limits are 25 and 50 crores. Like if the company's turnover from the notified product, if it is exceeding or equals to 25 crore, and if it is overall turnover is exceeding or equals to 50 crores. In case of non-regulated sector, it is 35 and 100 crores. That's simple.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So always try to
Yes.
make your answer simple, but you tried this. This is very appreciable. Okay, you at least tried. I request to all of you that if you are attending this session, then you must participate aggressively. Okay, So try to give answers as much as possible. You will be like, you will feel confident. More you will speak here, more you will be comfortable in speaking in interview. Okay. Good try. Next question is, while conducting cost audit, what are the major considerations that a cost auditor shall keep in mind? Now, this is a little tricky and dicey question that the answer of which could be, it is actually kind of a subjective question. Okay, here answer of the two or the three or four different candidates can be different. While conducting cost audit, what are the major considerations that a cost auditor shall keep in mind? कौन सी बातें हैं जो एक ऑडिटर को, कॉस्ट ऑडिटर को दिमाग में रखनी चाहिए जब वो किसी कंपनी की कॉस्ट ऑडिट कर रहा है? So this is undoubtedly a very, very, very good question. And trust me, there could be like 10 different answers of this question. Okay, we have a very small time to speak in interview. So you will give 2 or 3 points or 4 points. And we have actually more than 40 points to speak about this question. So 10 people could have different answers. Okay, so you tell me like which considerations. I want to answer this question from all of you because मैं इसका आंसर बाद में आपको बताऊंगा. What is the like most appropriate answer? So you tell me, anyone? जिसने
Cost
cost.
accounting standards.
Yes, Radhika.
The cost accounting standards.
Okay. Good.
Cost records must be maintained properly.
Good. Cost records maintained properly or not? Correct. Or I guess we have some merit holders here and they are not replying at all. Yes, Gaurav and Divya.
Some ethical codes.
Ethical codes. Okay. Code of ethics you want to say?
Nature and scope of audit.
नेचर एंड स्कोप ऑफ ऑडिट. दिव्या, ये तो आपने बिल्कुल बुकिश वाला आंसर दिया ना? आई एम नॉट, इफ आई एम नॉट
वही याद आ रहा था.
हाँ, चलो, गुड ट्राई, बट दिस विल गोइंग टू बी अ वेरी बुकिश आंसर. ओके, चलो कोई बात नहीं, यू ट्राइड एट लीस्ट, दिस इज गुड. ओके, एनीवन एल्स?
What kind of product actually factory made?
Oh, that's a very nice answer. That is a very nice answer. Good. Or okay,
Industry size.
industry size. Okay, again, this is a good answer.
Market share in this industry.
Okay. Fine. So let's accumulate all of these answers and let me finalize the answer, the most appropriate answer. See, when we conduct the cost audit, always like prefix to your answer must be, so we need to consider a lot of considerations in our head while conducting the cost audit. इससे बताए क्या होता है? इससे फायदा ये होता है कि आपको एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है कुछ बोलने की. ओके, जैसे आपने बोला ना सर, देयर आर द लॉट ऑफ एरियाज व्हिच वी नीड टू कंसीडर बिफोर ऑडिट. सो दे विल like suddenly the moment you said this, they will in turn, okay, tell us only any 3 areas. Now the answer is automatically limited. उसने खुद ने आपको परमिशन दे दिया 3 ही बोलने. ये सबसे अच्छी ट्रिक होती है इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस को अटेंड करने का. एक्चुअली अगर आप सिर्फ 3 बोलते, सो दे माइट फील दैट यार देयर आर द सर्टेन मोर एरियाज, बट ही और शी डिड नॉट मेंशन दोज एरियाज. So here you can lose their confidence. And the moment you said there are a lot of areas which we need to consider, they will tell you, okay, tell us any 4, tell us any 3, tell us any 5. So answer is automatically limited. That is good. Okay, point number 1. Now, what are the most important areas which we need to look after into the cost audit? यहाँ पे कभी भी एक तो ये नहीं बोलना कि हमें चेक करना है कि whether company is under the cost audit or not. ये मत बोलना. Don't even try to tell this, because अगर क्वेश्चन है कि कॉस्ट ऑडिट करते समय क्या कंसिडरेशंस देने हैं, दैट मींस कंपनी इज ऑलरेडी अंडर द ऑडिट. दैट इज व्हाई दिस क्वेश्चन हैज अराइज्ड. सो डोंट टेल वी नीड टू सी whether company is covered in the cost records. Although you did not reply, like anyone has not replied this, but still I'm like just telling you, ये तो कभी नहीं बोलना कि whether company is covered in the cost audit or not. Company is already covered in cost audit. That is why they're asking you this question. So the first question which you need to see is that जो एक बच्चे ने बोला भी था, शायद प्रणय ने बोला था, I guess, types of the products companies manufacture. सबसे prominent चीज होती है cost audit में, सबसे prominent चीज. Although हम लोग बहुत ज्यादा कॉस्ट ऑडिट्स नहीं कर पाते हैं अपने प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस पे, बट जहां तक मेरे अपने एक्सपीरियंस की मैं बात करता हूं, जितनी भी कॉस्ट ऑडिट्स मैंने करी है अब तक, उन सब में ट्रस्ट में हम अपने ऑडिट प्रोग्राम को जब बनाते हैं तो ऑडिट प्रोग्राम में सबसे पहली चीज जो हमारे दिमाग में आती है वो आती है ऑडिट
प्रोडक्शन।
कौन से कंपनी के प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, अकॉर्डिंगली प्रोडक्शन का एरिया निकलता है एंड अकॉर्डिंगली वी डायरेक्ट आर ऑल द एफर्ट्स इनटू दैट एरिया बिकॉज प्रोडक्ट वाइज ऑडिट प्रोग्राम बनता है। हम लोग कॉस्ट ऑडिट में कभी भी ओवरऑल कंपनी वाइज प्रोग्राम नहीं बनता। आप में से जिन लोगों ने कॉस्ट ऑडिट करी दे नो इट वेरी वेल। कॉस्ट ऑडिट के अंदर जो प्रोग्राम बनता है वो प्रोडक्ट वाइज बनता है। लाइक अगर आपके 4 प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, वी नीड टू स्प्लिट आवर ऑडिट प्रोग्राम इनटू द 4 एरियाज। तो पहली जो चीज दिमाग में रखनी होती है वो होती है नंबर ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स कंपनीज मैन्युफैक्चरिंग। सेकंड नंबर पे आता है देयर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेस, क्योंकि उसके अकॉर्डिंग ही हम लोग अपने ऑडिट प्रोग्राम को डायरेक्ट करते हैं। मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेस मतलब लाइक वेदर इट इज अ प्रोसेस कॉस्टिंग और इट इज अ बैच कॉस्टिंग और इट इज लाइक एन ऑपरेशनल कॉस्टिंग एंड अकॉर्डिंगली वी नीड टू डिजाइन आवर ऑडिट प्रोग्राम। So the second thing is that your production process. Third is industry requirements. Because जब हम audit करेंगे तो we need to compare the company's performance with the performance of industry. So we must have cost auditing standard. No, not those cost auditing standards. We must have some industry standards. फोर्थ नंबर में आप में से कई बच्चे ने बोला भी था कॉस्ट ऑडिटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स। ये मैंने इसलिए इंक्लूड करा है बिकॉज ऑल्दो ये बहुत प्रोमिनेंट नहीं होता है ये कॉस्ट ऑडिटिंग स्टैंडर्ड, क्योंकि हम ऑडिट करते हैं तो वो इनहेरेंटली हमारे उसमें प्रोसेस में शामिल ही होता है। लेकिन ये मेंशन इसलिए करना जरूरी होता है क्योंकि एग्जाम इंटरव्यूअर को ये जाना चाहिए दैट यू नो अबाउट द कॉस्ट ऑडिटिंग स्टैंडर्ड। क्योंकि बताए मालूम प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है, इंटरव्यू के अंदर एक बड़ी समस्या है, ये मेरा अपना ऑब्जर्वेशन रहा। हम जब इंटरव्यू पैनल में बैठते हैं ना तो जैसे 5 लोग बैठे तो हर आदमी ना किसी एक सब्जेक्ट का एक्सपर्ट होता है। प्रॉब्लम ये है, ये अच्छी बात नहीं है, प्रॉब्लम है, ये बेचारे इंटरव्यू के लिए प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है, ये उस बेचारे कैंडिडेट के लिए प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है कि हर टीचर या हर इंटरव्यूअर अपने आप में अपने फील्ड का एक्सपर्ट है, तो वो उसमें घुसने की कोशिश करता है। अब आपने 4 चीजें बोली, अच्छी अच्छी चारों चीजें बोली, अब मान लो वहां पे कोई कॉस्ट ऑडिट का टीचर होगा ना, वो वाले बोलेगा अच्छा कॉस्ट ऑडिटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स, यू डोंट थिंक सो दैट यू शुड आल्सो कंप्लाई विद द कॉस्ट ऑडिटिंग। आप कहेंगे नहीं नहीं सर, यस दे आर आल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट, सो व्हाई यू डिड नॉट स्पीक दैट। सर वो एक्चुअली सर अब आप स्पीचलेस, उसने अटका दिया आपको, जबकि इसका कोई रेलेवेंस नहीं था, क्योंकि कॉस्ट ऑडिट स्टैंडर्ड्स को फॉलो करना ये हमारे प्रोसेस का एक इनहेरेंट पार्ट है। लाइक इट इज इफ आई एम डूइंग ऑडिट like finance audit, so following standards and auditing is an inherent part of my audit process. So if I'm doing cost audit, then following or complying with the cost auditing standard is just an inherent part of your entire cost audit process. You don't need to mention it separately, isn't it? But since you did not speak about that, they might raise a question on you. Since you did not speak about sir cost auditing standards and was it, उसने वही पकड़ लिया तुमको, बोले अच्छा cost auditing standard follow नहीं करोगे, अच्छा ओके ओके, फिर वो ऐसे गर्दन लाके नाउ दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन ऑन योर आंसर। ओके, इसीलिए ये 4th पॉइंट बोलना जरूरी है सर, कॉस्ट ऑडिटिंग स्टैंडर्ड, उसका भी ईगो सेटिस्फाई होना चाहिए। लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट सर, व्हाट आर द रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ कंपनीज इंटरनल कंट्रोल और व्हाट इज कंपनी इंटरनल कंट्रोल सिस्टम ऑफ कंपनी, विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। 5th पॉइंट इज, ये 5 पॉइंट आपको कहीं नोट डाउन करके रखने चाहिए। कंपनी का प्रोडक्ट्स कौन से हैं, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेस क्या है, इंडस्ट्री के रिक्वायरमेंट्स क्या है, एंड उसके बाद में कॉस्ट ऑडिटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स और कंपनी का इंटरनल कंट्रोल सिस्टम। दिस ऑल नीड टू बी टेकन इनटू कंसिडरेशन। ओके, एनी क्वेश्चंस ऑन दिस? ओके, द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज हाउ विल यू इंप्रूव द ओवरऑल कॉस्ट इंटरनल कंट्रोल सिस्टम ऑफ द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एंटिटी। ये मैं आज नहीं लूंगा क्योंकि टाइम थोड़ा सा कम है हमारे पास में, थोड़ा बड़ा क्वेश्चन है, आई वांट ऑल ऑफ यू टू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन, सो आई वुड लाइक ऑल ऑफ यू टू prepare the answer of this question for the tomorrow session. अभी हम taking the next question. What suggestions? नहीं sorry, ये भी उसी से related है. I will take this question. Yes. Does cost accountant play any role in internal audit or can he conduct internal audit? ये वही question है जो ऊपर हमने discuss किया था, क्योंकि जब आप ये types of audit बताएंगे तो वो ये क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछेगा, तो इसका आपको जो है जवाब देना है। ऑलरेडी हम डिस्कस कर चुके हैं that how a cost accountant is good in conducting internal audit. लेकिन इस क्वेश्चन का एक पार्ट है जो शायद आपको और हमें दोबारा से डिस्कस करना चाहिए, और वो ये, does cost accountant play any role in internal audit? सेकेंड जो पार्ट है, और कैन ही कंडक्ट इंटरनल ऑडिट, वो आंसर हमने दिया, कैन, यस ही कैन कंडक्ट इंटरनल ऑडिट, एंड व्हाई ही कैन कंडक्ट इंटरनल ऑडिट ये भी हम लोगों ने डिस्कस करा। बट अभी जो हमारे लिए क्वेश्चन इंपॉर्टेंट है वो है इस क्वेश्चन का पहला पार्ट, does a cost accountant play any role in internal audit? See what actually he want to ask in this question. First part of this question is role of internal audit. What he exactly want to ask in this question? लाइक क्या पूछना चाह रहा है वो उस क्वेश्चन के, एग्जैक्टली क्या पूछना चाह रहा है वो उस क्वेश्चन में, ये पूछना चाह रहा है कि इफ an internal audit is going on in your company, for example, if internal audit is going on in your company and you are like a cost accountant over there in the company, can you play any role in that audit? Or like if you are the cost accountant of the company or company which will read internal audit, what kind of the role a cost accountant can play? See, फाइनेंस ऑडिट में और इंटरनल ऑडिट में जो डिफरेंस है ना, वो ये होता है कि फाइनेंस ऑडिट में वी लुक आफ्टर द फाइनेंशियल एरियाज ओनली, राइट? जितने भी हमारे फाइनेंशियल एरियाज होते हैं ना, उनको देखते हैं और ऑपरेशनल एरियाज को नहीं देखते. और अगर आप इंटरनल ऑडिट की बात करेंगे, इट इज कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव ऑडिट. इट इज अ काइंड ऑफ कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव ऑडिट विच लुक आफ्टर ऑल द एरियाज, इजंट इट? ऑल द एरियाज मतलब फाइनेंस एरिया एज वेल एज ऑपरेशनल एरियाज. Now, since internal auditor look after all operational areas as well, so if I'm working there as an accountant, if I'm working there as an accountant, as a cost accountant, definitely I will give all of the information relating to the operations, relating to the production, relating to the other relevant areas to the internal auditor. And this is how a cost accountant plays a very important role in internal audit. इंटरनल ऑडिटर को जो भी रिकॉर्ड चाहिए रहेगा कॉस्टिंग से रिलेटेड या कॉस्टिंग रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन, दैट कैन बी प्रोवाइडेड ओनली बाय अ कॉस्ट अकाउंटेंट. एन ऑर्डिनरी अकाउंटेंट और फाइनेंस अकाउंटेंट कैन नॉट गिव ऑल दिस इंफॉर्मेशन. दैट इज व्हाट द रोल ऑफ कॉस्ट अकाउंटेंट इन इंटरनल ऑडिट. और जो सेकंड क्वेश्चन है, इसका सेकंड पार्ट है, वो हम ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. तो आज का सेशन हम लोग यही वाइंड अप करेंगे. कल हम इसको कंटिन्यू करेंगे सेशन को. If you have any queries, then you can ask me, or you can also send those queries in the group. This file I'm going to share with all of you soon by the end of today. Okay, and you also prepare for the question number 6 and 7. So we're going to discuss these questions first and take all of your further queries. Right. Thank you very much for the day. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.